In our opening match, David Garber defeated our U.S. amateur champion Robert Smith, 191 to 183, giving him the opportunity now to take on Lonnie Waliczek in match number 2. And again, David Garber is leading off the match.
Now, it wasn't David's choice this match, though. It was Lonnie's choice because he's third. I don't know why Lonnie would choose to allow him to end on lane 20 again, but obviously he had a reason of his own for doing that.
But now, David seems to have found something on lane 19. That's 2 strikes in a row on that lane. Lonnie Waliczek here from Wichita, Kansas. He also bowled on the 1993 Collegiate National Champion at Wichita State University with David Garber. So now they're bowling against each other for a lot of money here.
That's pretty interesting. And, you know, they were Collegiate National Champs at Wichita State 2 years, 93 and 4.
Oh, pretty shot. This kid does.
Nice arm swing.
Real nice style here for Lonnie. It's a 5-step approach. Starts the ball about chest high. As you mentioned, Mike, nice fluid arm swing. Very high, way above the head. Look at the deep knee bend. Sets the ball smooth. Snaps the ball right. A real quick release.
Does that get him in trouble, do you think, ever?
Not often. When I asked him what was unique about his game, he said that he feels he's very versatile. He's able to change hand position, able to play all different lines, able to move around a lot. And I watched him in practice here, and he was playing up straight up around 7. He played around 15, and he played around 30. So I think he can do a lot of things and stay out of trouble.
All those numbers you related are different boards on the lane, correct?
Exactly. All the way from the right side to the left.
And he leaves the proverbial dinner bucket here, the 2, 4, 5, 8. No loss in count, but a difficult spare.
This was tough this week because the middle of the lanes being so dry, they could hook away from it, or they could go straight up and slide by it.
What's the best way to make it? Just hard and straight, or what?
It could be. He's trying that. Pretty straight.
Well, a little break there. Hits it on the left side of the 2-pin. Still got the spare.
Nice coverage.
Should mention in this event that we already talked that they had 641 entries next year. The dates for next year's event are going to be January 8th through the 16th, 1998. And right now they're willing to take entries as David Garber tries for a quick double through the nose and leaves the 3-pin only. If you'd like to enter this tournament next year, the number to call is 1-800-VEGAS-95.
If you enter by July 15th, you'll get 3 early bird entries. There's several tournaments that go on here. There's an early bird prior to the start of this where you bowl 2 game totals, and it goes to a finals. Those are worth about, you know, the entry to that is $150 a piece.
And the winner of that this year got $10,000 in that, right? Sam
Right.
Ventura from right in my area of the country, from Stowe, Ohio, won that.
That's right. So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of sweepers happening, and they do give you 3 free early bird entries if you enter by July 15th. So get on that phone and call 1-800.
Buckeyes are doing well in this. Sam Ventura won the early bird, and Brian Kretzer, Dayton, Ohio, is leading this. As a Texan gets a strike in the 3rd frame. Lonnie Waliczek up on lane 20 right now, 3rd frame. It's an even match.
And we also want to mention there, and we briefly touched on it, there is a lot of extra prizes also. There's senior prizes, there's women's prizes.
There was a women's division, and Robin Romeo and Kendra Cameron tied for the lead. Just almost made the telecast. Came down to the last game, right?
Right.
And you did very well. How'd you wind up here?
I made it to the top 8 in the winner's bracket, but then I lost that next match. I didn't get through the next one, so I lost the next 2 and was out.
As Lonnie leaves the 1-2-8, loses count, but doesn't leave a split of any kind. A convertible spare.
There's also a lot of countries represented here, Mike. It's an international event. Australia, Austria, Canada, Germany, Mexico, Sweden.
And Japan.
Japan also.
The biggest contingent, what, coming from Germany, though, right?
Germany, 21 bowlers from Germany.
They also had a seniors division here. It was won by Ed Dong, is that correct?
Right. He was the senior winner.
A tournament open to everybody that would like to play, and an opportunity to make $100,000 on top, $50,000 in second place.
A lot of ways to win money. There's a recruiter's doubles also. So if you bring someone who has never bowled in the event, if you're a recruiter of a new bowler next year, you are entered in a doubles tournament with that bowler. Randy Weiss and Jeff Leppard won that event.
Lonnie Waliczek in the fourth frame, trailing by 3 pins. Leaves almost a 4-9, but just a 4-pin. A nice quality shot there in the pocket. I'm sure he's at least pleased that he got it in the 1-3.
Before the match, I talked to Lonnie and asked him about lane conditions, and he said he wasn't real comfortable right now, but he said early on he wasn't too comfortable. He liked them as the carry down came, and it made him a little bit easier for him and more difficult for others. So we'll see if he gets through this match. Conditions may start to favor him a bit.
Converts the 4-pin. We're through 3.5 frames of our second match. Garber leads right now by 4 pins. Will it continue? We'll find out after this. And Schmidt, we're halfway through the second match in the International Eliminator Tournament, coming to you from Samstown Hotel, Gambling Hall, and Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. David Garber leads in this match by 2 pins. It would have been bigger. He had a double in the 3rd and 4th frame, but he left the 2-pin in the 5th frame and missed it with a careless error. So it's anybody's match with half a game to go. Right to the nose, leaves only the 6-pin. He just never got settled to make the shot that he wanted to there.
Well, you know, where a lot of these bowlers are where their approach is and where they're sliding is an area on the lane where there isn't a lot of play. I mean, you don't get a lot of league players sliding that far left normally.
So what does that mean?
Well, the approach is maybe a little slipperier. He's adding some tape into his thumb hole. Obviously, ball was a little loose, not a good feel.
Well, you ever get to that point where you put it in and you hang and you take it out and you lose?
I believe I was at that point yesterday.
Oh, were you really? You're familiar with that, huh? Cross lane at the 6-pin. He has it. Well, we're through 6 frames, 6.5 right now. David Garber is leading in this match by 3 pins. David up on lane 20.
David really needs to get a good shot off here and regroup after missing that spare.
Well, he's fortunate that Lonnie didn't capitalize on that open frame. Usually, it's an automatic double from your opponent. Pops it right back in there, leaves the 4-pin.
Made a good shot, though. That'll be good for his confidence.
Now, with players of this caliber and everything, and they're right there with the professionals, too, does their confidence go up and down during the course of a game?
I would imagine it does, even though they're very experienced players, but I don't believe there's anyone that doesn't doubt themselves every so often if you don't perform like you think you should, and you throw a few good shots, and it really boosts the confidence.
We see the score through 6 frames right there. 3 pins the difference. David Garber has them. So again, it's going to come down to who can perform at the tail end of the game. And right now, Lonnie Waliczek is trying to get the right feel, which is so important, doing it through adding tape. Through the nose and leaves the 3-6-10, and I think that missed spare is just upset him.
It could have. He thought he was doing well on that lane and lined something up, and then to miss a spare, it'll bring you down. But he did make a good shot on lane 20, so.
Well, if he can regroup here, convert the spare, we've got an even match. At the 3-6-10, no trouble. It's those single pins that are giving him a little bit of trouble. We're through 6.5 frames. David Garber, Lonnie Waliczek, all even. Who will prevail? We'll find out when we come back. Now, don't you touch that remote. While we were away, this is what happened. Lonnie Waliczek on the right lane, lane 20 in the 7th frame, gets the light hit, and then he takes advantage by giving him the old demoralizer shot here, Jan.
Ball never to the right side of the pocket, but
It looks pretty on the scoreboard right there. The difference 11 pins. David Garber needs a strike here in the 9th frame to set up the 10th.
David came back after that break. That Lonnie getting a break, and David came back and made a good shot and almost left the 7-10. And now, unfortunately, disaster.
The 4-6 in the 9th frame. He just never threw the ball the same after he missed that 2-pin.
It's a tough thing to shake, and your pressure's really on you then because you know you need to strike. His first shot, he's been throwing hard and straight. Pulled that inside of target, actually hit about the 30th board at the arrows. Didn't have a chance to get right.
And no break. We've seen that before. Right now, Waliczek leads in this match, I think, by 24 pins. Basically just needs to fill the frames, and he's going to be a winner and move on to the semifinal match.
Well, Lonnie's grandmother's proud. She's here in the audience, Lucille.
Whips it out there. What a break. Is going to hit it? Yes! Oh! The old domino. Woo! A Brooklyn and then missed the headpin. And both of them are X's on the scoreboard. You're not analyst here. Tell me about this now.
Never into a roll, never flipped. Look at this. The 4-pin falls, hits the 2 hits the head pin. Is it going to fall? Just clear of the rack. Now, Mike, had the rack touched the head pin, it would have had to be respotted.
Well, right now, it's 34-pin lead right now. He needs to just keep it on the lane. Whips it down there. Looks good enough. That's going to be a winner. And he gets the break there, too.
Oh, my.
The pins, no, it's Waliczek time here. Lonnie Waliczek will be the winner. We'll have the score after we come back. He's going to qualify to take on Carl Simonis. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.